Welcome to Flush Your Web Service Calls Down the Toilet. Hey, I'm Eric, and I got a question the other day. How am I testing when I'm doing web service call? How do I see what happens on the other side? And there's actually a little website, a little tool that I use quite often, so I thought I would share that with you. And the tool, it's called Post Test Server, and it's kind of it's a bit of potty humor here, but it's basically just a server where you can throw a dump at and then it goes away, and it's actually quite simple. You set up, either you select a random place to do your thing, or we can choose this one called YouTube does not. So this will give us a URL /t/YouTube/post on this domain. So let me actually show you how this works. So here is a quick extension prepared for us to do something. So the first thing we're going to do to make a web service call is that we need a HTTP client, because that's the one that's going to do our bidding, and we need a request, because that's what we're going to send to the server, and so that's a HTTP request message. We're going to need a response. That's the HTTP response message. Then we need some content, because that's what we're going to put into the call, and that's type HTTP content, and maybe we're going to do something with headers a bit later. So the first thing we do is that we build the request. So request, there's two main components. I think we're going to do a post here, because it is a post thing. Yeah, so we're going to do a post. So we're going to specify the method to be post, and then we have to specify the URI, and in this case the URI is exactly. So if I just click on this, we actually get it, and we can see. Actually, let me wait for that a second. So we get that. So we have a request, and we need some content. So the content is weird. So we want to put data into a content. So we use the function write from, which makes no sense, whatever, in the global naming scheme. There's actually a video somewhere deep down on the channel that is in, out, read, write, confusing directions. Go look at that if you're unclear on whether something is in or out, or read or write. Anyway, so in this case we're going to use write, because we're going to put something in it. So hello YouTube. And then we gotta set that on the request. So request content equal our content variables. Now we have our call set up. So now it's only a matter of doing client.send. You can't do client.post, and then you can see that you get the path, you get the content and the response. So you kind of, you don't need to create the request message. The same thing with get. You can do client.get, and then you don't need a request. But if you at some point need to manipulate headers, and quite often we need to manipulate headers in order to do authentication, other things, then we do need the request message. So I'm always using send. So send takes request and response as parameters. So let's look at what we have. We set the method to post, we set the URL to our dump here, and we add a content, and then we call this. So let's hit F5 and publish this one. We don't care about error handling and stuff like that. That's not important right now. We get the customer list, and that means that this has already taken place. So I can go back here, I can do an F5, and we can see that there are now 2 dumps. Because I clicked the link first, so we actually got a get. So we can ignore that, but then this one is the one we just did. So we can take a look at this now and see, well, this was a post, and from date we can now see all the headers that were sent to us. So even though we did not provide any headers, we actually got quite a few. Though no parameters, we can see that there's a post body. There's no multi-part files in case we're trying to emulate a file upload. So let's go back and pom1 equal 1, 2, 3, 4 and pom2 equal Eric. We can also try to add some headers in here. So let's do headers, or we can also do the other way of saying request dot get headers. I think I thought we were allowed to. No, we're not allowed to that. That's somewhere else. Headers, HTTP headers. Headers. Now we get a, and this is a pointer kind of structure, so we don't need to put it back. So sorry, let's do headers instead. Dot add authorization, and then that's perhaps bearer, and this is a token. How about that? So let's try this again. Come on. There we go. We are published. It opens the page. You can see there's a slight delay because we're calling this guy. So now we can go back, refresh this one, and we can see now there's a new one. And we can see that now there's a header for authorization. We can see that there are 2 parameters because we added those to the query string. We still got our body. And if we want to view this differently, we can also view it as JSON, or we can see the raw stuff from that. And we can go back and look and see, oh, hang on, the last one we did, it looks like that. We were missing a header. Now we have a header in this one. So this is just, this is very convenient. And in many cases, I've been working with something, and so when you do an HTTP call, you can either get, you can get a lot of things, but you could get errors that are 400, and then you can get errors that are 500 in scope. And typically, the translation of 4xx and 5xx is that everything that's 500, that's the server that has a problem. That's on them. Everything that's 400, that's on you. So that's a client error. Something is wrong, but it's your fault. If you get a 500 something, then something is still wrong, but it's not your fault, it's the server's fault. And quite often if I'm trying to figure out how to talk to a web service, and I get different errors, what I do is that I go into the code, and whatever address I'm posting to. So let's say that I was working at set request URI. I was working against Hogarth.SharePoint/API something right here, and that would give me an error, and maybe something is not right, and trying to figure that out. So I just quickly for once exchange the URL to this guy, and then I'm able to see what exactly am I sending. So I'm avoiding Fiddler and all those tools, and I can just say, hey, this is what actually is getting sent in that instance. So that is why I once in a while send all my web service call down the toilet. So ptsv2.com, it works fantastic, and I use it often. Anyway, that's my Thursday tip of the day of Thursday. Anyway, the tip of the week. I don't know if this is a tip of the week. Another try to do a shorter Thursday video than usual. So let me know in the comments below if you can use a tool like this. Let me know in the comments below if there's other things that you would like a Thursday tip for, and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, have fun, enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.